We're going to get them on the run, boys. Once we get them on the run, we're going to keep them on the run. And then we're going to go. And we're not going to stop until we get across that goal line.
And we are going to keep on going until woke ideology is eliminated. And we have them on the run. At least we have Sweet Baby Inc. on the run, so much so that they have completely redesigned their website. They have removed their client list from their website and are now hiding many of the games that they have worked on from their website. And they're also trying to basically scrub the fact that they are trying to burn the video game industry to the ground, as one of their employees recently said in the last year or so at a Game Developers of Color conference. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Roll this up over at thatparkplace.com. And Sweet Baby Inc. has redesigned its website, as I said. They have removed this About section, the About section that said, our mission is to tell better, more empathetic stories while diversifying and enriching the video games industry. We aim to make games more engaging, more fun, more meaningful, and more inclusive for everyone. That is no longer on their website. They've also removed this section here that said, new and marginalized talent can change this industry if given the proper support. We want to provide this through our outreach programs. No longer there on their website. They have also removed many of the projects they worked for. They had this section here that listed a lot of their projects. They even had a project page. No longer do they have a project page. Again, it has been removed. They also removed their client list, where they had all of these people listed on their website. Xbox, 2K, Ubisoft, Square Enix was on there. We did see them remove that from their list previously before this redesign, but they were on there before. Obviously, there's a bunch on there: Santa Monica Studio, Valve, Electronic Arts, Remedy, Raw Fury, etc. That is no longer on their website. It's all been replaced. The website is now a single page, basically, and it starts off with this saying, Sweet Baby Inc. is an award-winning team of writers and narrative designers who help make stories better. No, they do not. They make stories worse, and they make your game perform worse when it comes to sales. The proof is in the pudding. We have the data. $200 million impairment charge on Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Even God of War Ragnarok, which recently released on Steam, had less than 50% the peak concurrent than the God of War game that had already been on Steam. So even that, people are not purchasing that game. You can look at Spider-Man 2, half the sales of the original Spider-Man game as well. When you bring on Sweet Baby Inc., you are at minimum having your sales for your games. We know that Surgeon Studios has now been laying off people after consulting with Sweet Baby Inc. The list goes on and on and on. What was the Flintlock, the Siege of Dawn? They were laying off people before the game even released after working with Sweet Baby Inc. They do not make stories better. They make them worse, and they drive people away. If you are indeed trying to sell your game, you don't bring Sweet Baby Inc. on. They go on and say, with over 30 games shipped from AAA, indie, and solo developers, we are not just contractors. We are storytellers who can take your project to the next level. No, they absolutely do not. If you bring on Sweet Baby Inc., you're literally bringing on people who are going to make your project worse. That is what these people do. They then list the various services they provide, including script writing, consultation, authenticity, and sensitivity. Under script writing, it says, we work within scope to cover all your script writing needs, from cinematics to dialogue to naming 500 pieces of armor. We know every word counts. Okay. Yes, every word does count, and the words that you write, again, bring the games down. You're always injecting your woke ideology. One can imagine they would probably be doing that even in those 500 pieces of armor that they are, paid to name. For consultation, it writes this: no matter the stage of production, we can strengthen story pitches, world building, and character development needs, and other narrative design demands. And they literally have screenshot of Spider-Man 2 on there, and that game has been poorly received. Again, like I said, even the people who thought that it might be good the 10 million or so that purchased this, half of what purchased the original Spider-Man. Many of them did not like this game, did not like what they did with the character development of any of these characters. So no, again, they literally just ruin your projects, or you are attempting to ruin your projects if you're bringing them on. Maybe that is your goal. I do think that is a possibility. Finally, they have this last slide, I guess, authenticity and sensitivity. And it says, we approach sensitivity by working with your existing narrative and documentation to bring out its natural authenticity and emotional resonance. We don't look for red flags. We highlight green ones. No, we know what you do. We know what sensitivity rating is. You are literally trying to wokeify video games. And this is one of the ways that you do this, is trying to do all of this sensitivity nonsense, which is just wokeifying. And then they do have a list of featured projects: God of War Ragnarok, Battle Shapers, Sable, Suicide Squad, The Crew, Motorfest, and Afterlove EP are all listed. But again, they don't have all of the other projects like they used to have. They used to have a huge list of projects, an entire page that showed all of the projects that they worked on. Didn't include all of their projects, but it included a vast majority of them. And that is no longer the case. They've completely removed that. And the client list doesn't even exist anymore. And they also reworded this outreach section. It's now called Outreach and Workshops. And it says, our experienced team of writers and narrative designers are ready and available to provide workshops, talks, and general insight to your team. So it's not about changing the video game industry anymore. They've completely removed that, right? And now it's just like, we offer workshops where we are going to teach you about how to change the video game industry. We just won't publicly state that anymore. I mean, who are these people kidding? Who are these people kidding? Absolutely no one. It was better when they were being honest, honestly. But probably not for them. Probably not for them. That's probably why they changed this, which is absolutely hilarious, because I'm going to skip down here a little bit, because Kim Belair said that business was usual for them. Just a month or two ago, she did this video with Black Girl Gamers on YouTube. She said that the backlash against her company doesn't materially affect our work. The vast majority of these companies already know what's going on, and they still hire us. They know what we actually do, and it doesn't necessarily change our baseline survival. Looks like that is not the case. I think the redesign of the website, hiding your projects, hiding your client list, and removing what you actually do from your website clearly shows that people are indeed not wanting to work with your company anymore. In fact, we actually had a former Sweet Baby Inc., Kazumo Hashimoto, a woman pretending to be a man, revealed in a Twitch stream that was discovered by YouTuber Smash JT that developers are no longer interested in working with individuals who worked with Sweet Baby Inc. So if they're not wanting to work with people who used to work with Sweet Baby Inc., imagine, I think it's not hard to imagine that they don't want to work with Sweet Baby Inc. either. And this is what Hashimoto said. There are definitely jobs that I've had where like people have seen like the fact that I worked for Sweet Baby, and it's been a year since I've worked for them, and it's just like a contractual basis when I was. So just like periodically for like a couple of years, people will literally be like, hey, are we going to get harassed for hiring you? And I think that really sucks, that instead of like, we'll protect our employee, the employer, or the potential person giving you the contract will be more concerned about that than protecting their employees. Kind of effed up. No, they're actually trying to protect their company and the employees that work there rather than a potential new hire, because why would they want to work with someone who previously worked for Sweet Baby Inc., whose entire goal is to burn the video game industry down? And we know that because this Sweet Baby Inc. employee here calls himself Cameron Wild, claims to be non-binary. This was discovered by YouTuber Kirsch, but Wild gave this presentation at the Game Developers of Color Expo, and a slide says this in that presentation. Cool, so why am I here? And it literally says, burning the games industry to the ground. That is the third bullet point right there. Literally says, burning the games industry to the ground. And then just to expose how evil these people are and what they think are, we had another slide titled, so why am I still here? And one of the bullet points says, to prove that space where whiteness doesn't have to live is where some of the best stories are told. So literally racists clearly has some kind of animosity against white people, people that have a white skin tone. And he explained a lot of us who are really fighting for more inclusive games and storytelling don't have a choice when it comes to discomfort. A lot of us who are just existing don't have a choice, which makes this really hard often. But recently I started realizing that discomfort, or the place where whiteness doesn't have to live, is where some of the best stories are told, and it's where genre storytelling lives. So clearly revealing that everything that he does is to be against white people for whatever reason, or whiteness, whatever that happens to be, whatever definition he has of that in his own mind. So that is what is going on. It's not looking good for Sweet Baby Inc. We've got him on the run. We're going to keep him on the run. In fact, they had previously removed Square Enix, as I said earlier, from their client list. This came after we saw an investor actually questioning Square Enix's relationship with Sweet Baby Inc. during one of their calls in June. This was reported by ex-user Mixuzu, and the investor said this: "I'm personally happy about the shift from quantity to quality. I hope good titles will come out in the future. I'm concerned about the Canadian consulting company Sweet Baby. Square Enix is listed as a client, but is there actually a transaction there? What kind of transaction is it? Will they continue to do so in the future?" And we saw this response from Square Enix president Takashi Kiryu. He said, "I would like to refrain from making specific comments about individual clients. As we shift from quantity to quality, providing content that is enjoyable and safe for our customers is also part of what makes a product fun. We will do our best as creators." So basically gave a complete non-answer, but we did see investors asking those questions. Square Enix was removed from Sweet Baby's client list before they redesigned this website, which I think is another piece of evidence that maybe game developers no longer want to work with this company, or at the very least, they're trying to hide the fact that they're working with this company. I don't think that really matters, given the fact that you're promoting pride on your X. So you're basically just doing what Sweet Baby Inc. wants anyways. So just basically signing your own death warrant or a death certificate. But anyway, I do think that does show a piece of evidence. That is a piece of evidence, I think, that shows that these developers no longer want to be working with this company, or at least seem publicly associating with them, because they are so damaged, because they want to literally burn the video game industry to the ground. They've done this to themselves. They've set out to do this, and people now know who they are, and they don't want anything to do with it, because they're literally trying to destroy video games. Like, that is their goal. I mean, we have this Cameron Wild person literally saying this, burning the games industry to the ground, and they are changing their website to try to hide what they are trying to do. But I don't think this is going to work. We are going to keep exposing Sweet Baby Inc., keep talking about Sweet Baby Inc. We've got them on the run. We're going to keep them on the run. We're going to keep them on the run until we cross that goal line. And that goal line is the complete eradication of woke ideology from the video game industry. But let me know what you guys make of Sweet Baby Inc. changing their website, redesigning it, hiding all of this stuff, hiding their projects, hiding their client list, trying to remove their adherence to woke ideology. Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.